A hidden reason old souls are born into painful families. There is a mysterious truth woven into the journey of old souls, one that repeats across generations and across countless lives. Old souls are rarely born into peaceful families. Instead, they arrive in homes that feel heavy, complicated, or emotionally unstable. They enter environments where love is conditional, where communication is broken, or where affection feels distant. At first, this can seem unfair. It can feel like a punishment. But spiritually, it is the opposite. It is a precise placement, a soul assignment. Old souls come into this world carrying wisdom from lifetimes before. They're born with intuition, empathy, and an inner knowing that sets them apart. But these qualities need activation. They need experiences that bring them to the surface. A calm, perfect childhood does not awaken a soul whose purpose is transformation. It is pain that awakens wisdom. It is contrast that awakens clarity. It is emotional difficulty that awakens destiny. Think about your childhood for a moment. Think about the moments you felt unseen, unheard, misunderstood, or unloved. Those moments did not weaken you the way you feared. They carved pathways inside you. They forced you to observe deeply, feel deeply, question deeply. You became aware of things other children never noticed. You sensed tension before it was spoken. You read emotions without needing explanation. You learned the truth behind people's behavior long before you had the words to describe it. An old soul is placed in a painful family for a far greater purpose, awakening its inner sight. Painful families do not just create wounds, they create vision. They create sensitivity, not as a flaw, but as a spiritual instrument. They teach old souls how to survive emotionally, how to stand alone when necessary, and how to rely on intuition when logic fails. And in this way, the family that hurt you becomes the very soil in which your soul begins to grow. Old souls also come into families with unresolved generational patterns. These families carry emotional wounds that no one has healed. They repeat behaviors without questioning them. They pass down fear, silence, anger, insecurity, and shame because no one before them had the awareness to break the cycle. But an old soul does. That is why you were placed there. You were sent into the line at the exact moment when a cycle needed to end. Your presence is the interruption. Your awareness is the shift. Your healing is the transformation. And although you may not have understood it while growing up, your soul understood it all along. It knew the challenges were shaping you. It knew the pain was strengthening you. It knew the confusion was guiding you towards your purpose. You were not born into that family by mistake. You were not given that childhood by accident. You were planted there like a seed, one that would grow differently, think differently, feel differently, and eventually rise higher than the environment that tried to break you. Old souls are not damaged by the families that hurt them. They are awakened by them. Pain creates awareness that comfort never could. Old souls do not grow through comfort. They grow through contrast. They grow when life challenges them, when love is inconsistent, and when their environments push them to question, observe, and evolve. Pain is not something an old soul simply survives. Pain is a catalyst, a teacher, and the key that unlocks the awareness already within them. While ordinary souls may drift through life without ever confronting the raw truths of human behavior, old souls are forced to face them early and deeply. This is how they awaken. If you grew up in a family that hurt you, dismissed you, or misunderstood you, it may have felt cruel at the time. It may have felt as if no one cared, or as if you were unworthy of love. But that environment was teaching you something profound. It was training you to sense emotions, read intentions, and understand the deeper dynamics of human behavior. While other children learned to play and obey, you were learning to watch, to interpret, and to survive. You were learning lessons that would later become your strength, wisdom, and spiritual insight. Pain pushes old souls inward. It makes them question who they are, why they exist, and what the meaning of life truly is. It forces them to seek understanding where none is offered. It makes them look beyond appearances and surface-level interactions. When your family hurt you, it forced you to explore your own mind, your own feelings, and your own inner world. In that space, You discovered intuition, empathy, and clarity, qualities that would shape your soul forever. Many old souls describe feeling different from their peers during childhood. They felt emotions more intensely. They noticed subtleties others ignored. They questioned motives, emotions, and actions because they had to navigate a complex emotional environment. This is not a weakness, it is awakening. Pain develops sensitivity, not fragility. Pain develops perception, not paranoia. Pain develops awareness, not despair. It equips the soul with tools that comfort alone could never provide. Being in a painful environment also teaches resilience. It shows old souls that they can survive emotional storms, stand alone when necessary, and rely on themselves when trust is absent. Every hurt, every disappointment, and every moment of confusion builds inner strength and emotional intelligence. Old souls learn how to manage their feelings, calm their inner chaos, and find light in darkness. These are not accidental lessons, they are the foundation of awakening. The universe does not place ordinary souls in extraordinary pain. It places old souls there because they are capable of growth beyond ordinary limits. Pain awakens them to their purpose. It teaches them to navigate life consciously. It trains them to break generational patterns. It shapes them into compassionate, intuitive, and wise beings who understand life at a depth few others will ever reach. Old souls are not victims of their families. They are students of life. They are learners of human nature. They are beings who transform hurt into awareness. Pain is not a prison. It is a path. The family that hurt you did not end your story, it began it. And through that pain, you awaken, evolve, and rise. Old souls become the cycle breakers. Old souls are placed in families that hurt them not to suffer endlessly, but to learn, awaken, and ultimately break the cycles of dysfunction that have repeated for generations. Every family carries patterns. Some repeat anger, others repeat silence. Some repeat emotional neglect or fear. These patterns exist unconsciously, passed down from parents to children, often without awareness. Old souls are sent into these environments because they have the ability to notice, understand, and ultimately change these cycles. When an old soul grows up in a family that hurts them, they learn to see the dynamics others ignore. They notice emotional triggers, unspoken rules, and hidden wounds. They begin to understand that the pain in their family is not a reflection of their worth, but a reflection of generational trauma. This realization is a turning point. It gives them clarity and empowers them to make different choices. They are the ones who can see dysfunction clearly, not just feel it, and this ability positions them to become cycle breakers. Old souls develop an emotional vision that is rare and transformative. They can recognize the pain in others because they have lived it themselves. They can sense patterns that others repeat unconsciously. They understand the motivations behind actions, the fears behind words, and the wounds behind behavior. This emotional insight does not come from study or observation alone. It comes from surviving, processing, and learning from a family that taught them pain firsthand. Being in a family that hurts them also teaches old souls self-reliance. They learn how to calm themselves when the household is chaotic. They learn how to protect their inner peace when the environment is toxic. They learn how to set boundaries and develop discernment because trust was inconsistent. These lessons are not easy, but they are essential. They transform an old soul into someone strong, independent, and capable of seeing life through the lens of awareness rather than reaction. As they grow, old souls understand that their purpose is greater than personal healing. Their experience prepares them to change not only their own lives, but also the lives of others. They learn to model healthy behavior, emotional maturity, and conscious love. They inspire those around them to break the chains of pain that have been repeated for decades. In this way, old souls are not victims of their family. They are the catalysts for transformation, the ones who bring light into places that were dark for too long. The universe chooses old souls for this journey because they have the strength and awareness to rise above their circumstances. Their placement in hurtful families is intentional. It is a training ground that equips them with emotional intelligence, compassion, and resilience. It gives them the insight to understand themselves and others at a depth most people never reach. And most importantly, it prepares them to end the cycle of pain and bring healing to their lineage. Old souls are the healers, the visionaries, and the consciousness shifters. Their family may have been the source of their earliest wounds, but it is also the source of their awakening. Every hurt, every disappointment, and every challenge they faced has contributed to their ability to transform, evolve, and rise above. They are not defined by the pain of their family. They are defined by the awareness, strength, and wisdom that pain awakened in them. Your family hurt you, but they also awakened you. If you are an old soul who has experienced hurt within your family, it is easy to look back and see only the pain, the confusion, and the injustice. But there is a deeper truth. The very family that caused you pain also became the crucible that shaped your spirit. Every moment of being misunderstood, ignored, or dismissed became a lesson in resilience, awareness, and self-discovery. Your family may have caused wounds, but those same wounds opened doors to awakening that comfort never could have provided. The first lesson old souls learn from a painful family is self-reliance. When love, attention, or validation was inconsistent, they were forced to turn inward. They learned to comfort themselves, to trust their own instincts, and to find peace within. They discovered that their value and stability did not depend on others, even if others failed to provide it. This self-reliance is one of the defining traits of old souls, and it comes directly from navigating families that were incapable of giving what was needed. Old souls also develop a heightened sense of empathy and intuition because of the hurt they experienced. Growing up in emotional chaos allows them to feel deeply, notice subtleties that others miss, and sense the hidden emotions of people around them. They understand pain at a level most people never will. This awareness is not a burden, it is a gift. It allows old souls to be compassionate without losing their discernment, to love without losing themselves, and to guide others with wisdom that comes from lived experience. Perhaps most importantly, old souls recognize that their purpose is not to repeat the cycles of pain they grew up in. They see the patterns clearly, the anger, the fear, the avoidance, and the emotional distance, and they consciously choose to respond differently. They break the cycle by being aware of their actions, by practicing emotional intelligence, and by nurturing their own growth, even when the environment around them is still fractured. Their families' limitations become a roadmap for their own conscious evolution. Every old soul who has been hurt by family eventually reaches the same realization. The pain was not meant to destroy them. It was meant to awaken them. It was meant to cultivate resilience, deepen understanding, and illuminate the path to spiritual and emotional maturity. Old souls learn to transform hurt into insight, disappointment into clarity, and betrayal into discernment. Their experiences become lessons not only for themselves, but also for anyone they touch in the future. Ultimately, your family may have been the source of your earliest wounds, but they also became the foundation of your awakening. You were not placed in that environment by accident. You were placed there to evolve, to see clearly, to grow spiritually, and to break generational patterns. Your journey was designed to transform pain into wisdom, suffering into strength, and confusion into awareness. You are not defined by the hurt you endured. You are defined by the consciousness, empathy, and resilience it awakened within you. Your family hurt you, yes, but through that hurt, your soul awakened, and you are now ready to rise higher than the environment that tried to hold you down.